What's up, guys? It's Jason Buckner, aka J Bucks, and as you can tell by the title, I'll be talking about what it takes to become a D1 footy player. So the first thing I'll be covering is the academic requirements, not only for D1 but for D2 and D3. So first, for D1, you need to complete 16 core courses, and that includes math, English, social science, natural/physical science. So in terms of a timeline, you must complete 10 core courses by senior year or your 7th semester. So among these 10, 7 of them need to be math, English, natural, or physical science. The GPA that you need to have is a 2.3 or higher from your core courses. So for the last two, they seem pretty self-explanatory, but for some they're not. So it is graduating high school and receiving your certification on your amateurism status. So now for D2, it's pretty much the same thing. You still need 16 core courses, but the years and the time frame varies a little bit. Instead of a 2.3 at a D1 level, for D2 you need a 2.2 or higher. And then for the last two, you still need to graduate high school, and you need to receive your certification on your amateurism status. As for D3, the academic requirements kind of vary based on the school that you're looking at or that's looking at you. So they kind of pretty much make up their own rules. So yeah, like I said, it all depends on the school that's looking at you or you're looking to go to. So, a lot of the times people want to focus on just their sport and kind of put school in the rear view. This is not a good thing to do, in my opinion, because it's going to narrow the options that you're going to have for schools that are going to look at you or options for you to even go to. So as we know, a lot of people that are really good at their sports, they want to go straight pro, and if not, they go the college route. And a lot of the times, unfortunately, people are a lot more focused on just their sport rather than their school as well. This is where it can kind of mess up your whole recruiting process, because your grades plus your talent gets you into the best school and gives you the most options. So for an example, if you're a great player and a team like Stanford reaches out to you and they're like, hey, what's your GPA? Or hey, what's your test scores? And you come back to them and say, hey, I have a 2.5 GPA and my test score is 1,000 on the SAT. They're probably not even going to answer you back, because Stanford is it's a prestige school in sports and in certain sports and in the classroom. So, like I said, it's very important that you guys are getting good grades and balling on the field. As I said before, yes, you need a 2.3 GPA in order to be eligible to go into college, but obviously colleges have, certain academic requirements based on the level of school. So, the level of the school, I should say. So, like I said, Stanford, very prestige school, so they're going to require you to have much better grades no matter how good you are at your respective sport. Obviously, there are a lot more uncommon cases where a player is very good and he doesn't have very good grades, but they move some stuff around and they have them take extra classes in the summer right before they come, so they're eligible to come and boost their GPA and stuff like that and so forth. So now I'm going to tell you guys about my experience when I was transitioning from a high school student going into the college scene. So basically, as every aspiring athlete, we want to go pro, and we kind of say, you know what, I want to skip the college route, I want to go straight pro. I was one of those players as well. Unfortunately, as you can see, I couldn't go straight pro, but I learned that, in my opinion, over the years of attending University of Michigan, I think this is the best decision I've made, one of the best decisions I've made in my life, and I'm very happy that I went to school. So basically, I'm not too sure how it is now, but I'm just speaking on experience. I had a 3.8 unweighted GPA, so I'm pretty sure that was out of 4.0. And then my weighted GPA was a 4.2, and I believe that was out of 6.0. So I had really good grades, which was already a plus for me. So when Michigan reached out and I sent them my grades and my high school transcript, they were like, okay, these are very good. We're on the right track. Then for an SAT, I'm just going to put that out there. Yes, it was not a good score, but I only managed to get a 1020. So yeah, not very good, but I got very lucky that when I was going to college, it was during the pandemic. So they were a lot more lenient with accepting your grades higher than like your test scores. So for example, since I had really good grades, they liked me as a player, I got into school. I'm not too sure how it is now. You guys would probably have to do a bit of research or just ask the school that you're interested in or that's interested in you. If their primary thing they look at is still SAT scores and ACT scores, plus the grades as like a secondary type of thing. But I believe, some schools definitely look less at SAT and ACT scores, and some schools probably look at it more. So it kind of really just depends on the school. Like I said, I was very fortunate that my grades took me a long way. Had I not had good grades, I probably would not be in this tracksuit right now. I've had many friends that have had the good part and the bad part. So I've had friends that, really good player, really good grades, they went to a really good school. I've had friends that had really bad grades, really bad test scores, great player, and ultimately didn't get to go to the school that they should have went to or the level that they should have went to, and had to go either to a lower D1 school, D2, or D3. Now, I'm not saying D2 or D3 are bad. I'm just saying if you want to get to your dream college or the best possible school for you, obviously having good grades, good test scores, and balling on the field, that'll help you a lot. So as I said, if you're balling on the field and you have good grades and good test scores, this kind of opens up a lot of doors for you in terms of which colleges you're able to attend, which colleges will reach out to you, and so on. Now that we got the academic part out of the way, I'm going to dive straight into how to make an effective highlight reel to send to your college coaches. The first thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to have it in bold, your highlight reel is not a TikTok/IG edit or montage or mixtape. Your coach does not want to see all that fluff of you, walking in or having close-ups on you. They don't want to see none of that. They don't have time for that. They're getting so many videos sent to them per week, and they have such limited time, and the last thing they're going to want to see in the first opening 10 to 30 seconds is just you walking around the field and close-ups of you, because I promise you they'll probably just click off your video and go on to the next one. I think you should definitely make an intro, but have the intro be just more informational. So obviously put your name, your height, weight, the team you play for, your information, your coach's information, your position. Maybe put, if it's a specific highlight reel from a season, put your stats, and then obviously put your GPA and your test scores. I think those are important things to have on the intro. I still don't think the intro should be very long. It should maybe be like 10 seconds max, so they can, read through it properly. It's YouTube. They can pause the video if they want to, so there's no need to put it too long. But yeah, I think those are very important things to have on the intro. Like I said, college coaches are very, 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 very busy people. They do not have time to be watching an 8-minute highlight reel. So make sure you guys are putting a video that is max, I'd say 4 minutes. I think the sweet spot is 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, don't put highlights that are okay. Put stuff you want the coach to see. So goals, assists, if you're a defender, aerial duels, breaking lines with your passing, tackles, clearances, how are you on corners? How are you defending corners? How are you attacking set pieces? If you're a midfielder, long balls, turning on the ball, goals, assists, creating chances, important things. You know what I mean? Not some sideway pass, not some backwards pass. They want to see your quality, and it's important to put your best clips. It has to be your best clips. And if this means across your last 2 seasons or last 3 seasons, then do that. If they come back to you and say, hey, send me footage from your last season, okay, make a new one and send it from your last season. So once you compile your videos and you're like, okay, these are the best clips I have, of those best clips you have, put the best clips that you have first. So I know it's a tongue twister, but basically just put your best clips first. I think that will put you in a good position, because if they see your first clip is a bicycle kick, they're going to be like, wow, okay, I want to see what more he has. And then you have a beautiful assist. Wow. So definitely just put your best clips first. So like I said, again, coaches are very busy. Now that I'm on the team, I've been on the team for about 3.5 years. Seeing how busy they are is quite amazing to see how much time they can make for us and stuff like that. Very grateful. So like I said, make sure clips are in the front, and if they're not in the front and they're seeing kind of, average clips, they may not even watch your whole video, even if you make it just 3 minutes. They may be like, all right, you know what, next. Like I said, they're getting a bunch of videos per week that they have to evaluate. Some they don't get to, some they get to. So again, make sure your best clips are in the front so that they can watch the entirety of your video. I think this is also a very important one. Make sure you're not using music like Lil Baby, Drake, and stuff like that, where they're talking about very explicit things, because that's just not appropriate for the style video that you guys are making. I'd recommend using type beats, instrumentals, and so on. Really anything without lyrics I think is a good shout. And that's the way I went about it when I was in my college process. When I was in my recruiting process, I was told this tip, and I think it's very effective as well. My coach had told me, make sure you're putting 3 to 5 seconds before the actual play and 3 to 5 seconds after it. So for example, the clip is you heading the ball into the goal, you score the goal, whatever. Put 3 to 5 seconds before that, because the coach can now evaluate, okay, what did this player do to get himself into that position to score the goal? So he can look at your run, whether, you're checking your shoulder, stuff like that. And then after the play, obviously for this one, it doesn't correlate, but I'll give you another example. Let's say you receive the ball and then you make a really good pass. They want to see what you did 3 to 5 seconds before you made that really good pass. Were you checking your shoulders? How did you create the space to receive the ball in order to make the pass? And then after you pass the ball, what are you doing 3 to 5 seconds after that? Are you just standing there, or are you getting back into position, or getting yourself into a position where you can support the play after that? So I think it's really important to kind of keep in mind of that rule, the 3 to 5 seconds before and after. That concludes part 1 of what it takes to become a D1 footy player. On part 2, I'll be talking about how to draft an email to send to a college coach, including and attaching your highlight reel. If you guys enjoyed this series, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back more with some interesting facts and tips on how to become a D1 footy player. J-Bucks out.
Blurred vision unreleased. Look at the jacket, it's jeans. Straight from the manufacturer overseas. Blurred vision, but I can see.